We are clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money and the power, never be fake. Stick the code side for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs that we on the CNN. BBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's happening? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I wanted to say hello to everybody. Welcome to the chat. And I hope you guys are going to come in here and hang out with us a little bit. I want to say also welcome to all the intelligent Black people in the room. If you are Black and intelligent, then please say I. We're only looking for intelligent Black people. This is a platform for intelligent Black people. So the non-intelligent Black people, the people that don't want to be smarter after the conversation's over, are certainly welcome to get the fuck out. So if you are intelligent and you are Black and you're proud, say I. Everybody say I if you're Black and you're proud and intelligent. And also if you put Black people first, type B1 in the chat. We put Black people first at all times. The Black community matters more than any other community. I don't care about any other community out there. Millionaire Mel says, what's good, billionaire Boyce? Well, I appreciate it. Well, I'm definitely a billionaire when it comes to my heart and when it comes to my mind. Now, when it comes to my bank account, that's going to catch up, but we're going to get there. We all going to get there and reach billionaire status. In fact, the Black community, when we all come together, we're not just billionaires, we're actually trillionaires. 1.3 trillion in Black economic power every year in our pocket. We can do whatever we want to do with that money. We can spend it on whatever we want, but I'd rather, instead of spend it, why don't we invest it? So anyway, don't forget that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, if you want to join us, we are building Black Hollywood. We're celebrating Black filmmakers. We're doing Black movie night. It's going to be online and it's totally free. You guys can come in for free. There is a charge to come in, but you ain't got to pay it. So just sign up at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. So we ain't just talking. We're actually building. We're actually celebrating Black filmmakers. We're going to do it. We're going to keep doing it every month forever. So blackmovienight.net. You can join us tonight at 8 p.m. Not only are we going to watch the short Black films, but we're going to meet the filmmakers after it's over with. So feel free to come on out and hang out with us. And don't forget to join blackenough.com. That's our social media platform. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet. Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. Excuse me. Also, everybody all throughout the internet, I want to say welcome to you guys. So let's jump into the conversation. Let's get it cracking. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about what I refer to as relationships, not relationships. Relationships are what you're used to hearing. That's what we think that we're entering into. But some of y'all think you're entering into a relationship when you're actually entering into relationship. And that's when you get two people that look like they're grown-ups, but they're really not grown-ups. They're actually little children. And they start this relationship thing going on. They get this crazy relationship kind of happening, and they end up spilling their shit all over everybody else. And everybody else has to figure out and sift through all the shit and all the chaos in order to understand what's going on. Now, so I'm talking about a guy by the name of Nas with his ex-wife, Kelis. Now, I'm not dissing Nas or Kelis. I'm not dissing them. I'm dissing the relationship. Not dissing them. I'm dissing the relationship. And I'm not placing blame on anybody. And also, this is not a conversation where we're here to gossip about what Nas and Kelis went through in their relationship. What I am here to do is talk about what's actually happened and what's been said in public in a way where we can actually walk away smarter, better people, because we are intelligent Black people in this room. So our goal is not to get mixed into relationship, but to learn from it. So I took some notes, y'all. I was analyzing. I put on my Black professor hat. I actually have a hat that, let me see, hold on. I got a hat. It says Black Finance Professor hat. You see, it says Black Finance Professor. And I put on my Black Finance Professor hat, and I put on my horn rim glasses, and I analyzed their relationship, and I took some notes on it so that I could figure out how we can break this down in a way where we actually become smarter. So let's get started here. Here's what's going on. Kelis apparently likes to talk in public about her thing with Nas. She likes to talk about Nas a lot. I don't know Nas as a person. I never met Escobar. I only know that Nas is a great rapper. That's all I know about him. I know nothing about what he's like in a relationship situation. I have no clue, no knowledge whatsoever. And I'm not here to evaluate or even attempt or to pretend to be able to judge that. But she's been making some interesting accusations in public. And it's kind of been going on. I mean, I think those two got divorced in 2009. And so since 2009, 2009, I mean, 2009 is so long ago. I don't even know if Colin Kaepernick was in the NFL in 2009. Like what was going 2009? Barack Obama was in his first year of the presidency, right? 2009 was a long time ago. And so, so she's still talking about the relationship in 2009. I've seen Nas respond to Kelis a little bit, but but I think I don't know if Nas would be talking about it if she wasn't talking about it, but I'm not here to say that one way or the other. I don't want to pick sides necessarily in the midst of relationship, but it's a little bit strange when you're still talking about a divorce that happened 11 years ago. There's this new invention that we just came out with that not many people know about. It's called moving on with your fucking life. This invention hasn't been around for long. People are just now learning how to use it, but it's an invention called moving on with your fucking life. And someone needs to tell at least Kelis for sure that this is what you do, And so I've seen accusations being thrown around. I think she said he was verbally abusive, physically abusive. He has a problem with alcohol. She claimed he wasn't paying no child support, etc. Now he's throwing stuff back to say that she's out of control. She's been verbally and physically abusive to him, and she's alienated him from his child, and all this other stuff. And so, I think the first thought that I have on this, and I think this is something that can be extrapolated, extrapolations where you take the one situation and you expand it so we can all learn from it, because this is not here. We're not here to talk about their relationship. They're not that important for your life. I'm here to really talk about your relationship, because most of y'all in here have probably been in the middle of relationship at some point. How many of you have been, how many of you want to fess up right now? Let's do a confession right now. The Court of Intelligent Black People is called into session. How many of you will confess, come down to the altar right now and confess that at some point in your life, you've been involved in relationship? Has anybody been caught in the middle of relationship? Say yes. Say if you've ever been in the middle of a relationship. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, I can't believe that this happened to me? I can't believe I'm in the middle of this. I can't believe the police are at my house. Has anybody ever been in the middle of a relationship? Let's go ahead and admit that right now, so we're not pretending to be holier than thou, pretending to be perfect. Lord knows I'm not pretending to be perfect. I have had relationships, and I've even had public relationships, but I'm always working to become a better person. I'm always working to grow, because I can tell you, please be patient with me, because God is not through with me yet. So we've all been in the middle of a relationship. And so one of the rules I want to throw out there for you about relationship, and I think something you can learn from this whole situation with Nas and Kelis is, and there's more to it. There's more to it. She actually makes comment. And another thing that drove me in was she made a comment about how she's tired of protecting the sanctity of the black man. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And that's actually what drove me into it. I'd seen their relationship for about a decade or 11 years, but I never said anything, but I had to say something. When you start talking about all black men, that's when I get involved. That's when we got to call the Boyce police. And so I'm showing up at the door, like the black cop, but I'm knocking on the door, and I'm like, what's going on here, ma'am? Why are you attacking all black men? Because your man is your man, but we're not all your man. We didn't have a baby with you, so you need to keep our name out of your mouth. So one rule I'm gonna share with you guys about relationship is keep that shit to yourself. Just keep it to your damn self. Like, when you have a problem with another person, you have a relationship and it doesn't work out, and when things go wrong or you're mad about something or whatever, social media ain't the place to go air out all your grievances. That it ain't, the media. You might be dating a celebrity. You might have had a chance to date somebody that's got a public profile. But I'm going to tell you, one red flag is, and this is for anybody, male or female, in the room who has something to lose. Anybody in here who has a reputation you want to protect. Anybody in here who's trying to create something and do something good with your life, who keeps your shit to yourself. Be very thoughtful, be very careful about dating anybody or marrying somebody who's going to be out trying your relationship in the court of public opinion. That right there is a really huge red flag. That really says that you're dealing with somebody who enjoys relationships, not relationships. And that also is a sign of a person that is, if they get pissed off at you, they're going to destroy you, especially if you're doing good and they're not doing good. If you're doing good and they fell off, or you're making money and they're broke, or you're moving ahead and they're sitting still, then at that point, that person may be out in public using your name and the leverage that comes from your name being in the sentence to benefit themselves and to get attention to their story. So be very thoughtful about people like that. Be very careful about that. I'm gonna tell you, when I had some time, a little bit of time where I was single and I was kind of, peeking out stuff, and I'm a scientist, so I kind of I would analyze women before I even thought about talking to them. Seriously, I could know you for 6 months and be your friend, and you wouldn't have a clue that I liked you, because I'm just watching how you move. I'm watching how you act. And most importantly, this is good advice for the young folks in the room. I watch not just how you treat your friends. I love to see how you treat your enemies. How do you talk about your enemies? How do you deal with your enemies? How do you talk about your exes? If every ex you've ever had is a son of a bitch and a piece of shit and was abusive and emotionally abusive and mean, and you don't like him and fuck them and I'm gonna destroy him, then I'm not getting nowhere near that, because that tells me that your issue isn't with those men. That issue might be with your daddy. You're not really mad at them. You might be mad at your daddy because your daddy wasn't there for your 3rd birthday party and you ain't got over that shit. And so every man you meet, every man you fall in love with, every man who doesn't do what you tell him to do becomes your daddy again. And then you decide you want to punish him. So fellas, be very careful about dating women who are out looking for their daddy, because that could become a very bad thing. Now, the ladies have other things. You have other warning signs to look out for, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitter, please retweet this to all the ignorant people who need to hear from Black intelligence. So please retweet this right now so everybody can know what's going on. Also, don't forget, tonight we have Black Movie Night. All of you are invited for free. We're celebrating Black filmmakers. We're going to show online 3 short Black films by independent Black filmmakers. We're building a Black Hollywood. Y'all need to participate, because we got to build our own. We can't just sit around hoping that white folks are going to build it for us. We got to build it. So we're building it, and we're featuring 3 Black filmmakers tonight that made some great movies, and it is totally free. So if you want to come in, go to blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. All right. So next, here's the thing about Nas and Kelis also that's very interesting. I remember when they got married and they were really, really in love. They seemed like a couple that had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of energy. And I respect that. I think energy is good. Love is a beautiful energy. But in their love, it was a little bit weird. Does anybody remember? Give me a yes or no if you remember when Nas put out his album, and I think it had the N-word in the title. I'm not going to say it because they got bots that pick up words you use on YouTube. It had the N-word in the title, and Nas and Kelis both had jackets on. They had the N-word on them. Does anybody remember when they were promoting that album and everybody just was looking at them like they were insane, like they were crazy? I think Issa Rae had a jacket like that, or a shirt like that or something, which I thought that was a bit much, right? And what I really saw there, and what I see also with Issa and everybody is, maybe you have celebrities that are willing to do kind of anything in order to get attention. And sure, that word is shocking. Yeah, that's going to get your attention, but all attention ain't good attention. Like Immortal Technique, the rapper, he also said all money ain't good money. And that's why I love Immortal Technique till the wheels fall off, because he makes it clear, like, all money ain't good money. He shares that with rappers. And I think it's very important for everybody to understand that all money ain't good money. And so, with these two, I kind of knew it was probably going to go bad. When people have love up to the ceiling, unfortunately, that volatility can sometimes go south, and you see it kind of spill out into the street. So now you got years later where Kelis is still in public, saying things about, Nas, and she's going, and now she's also fighting with Pharrell. And I'm gonna read some of this from Yahoo News so we can get some perspective on it. She says, days after his performance with Little Nas X at the Grammys. So mind you, your ex is performing at the Grammys. The Grammys ain't checking for Kelis. So I wonder if there's some bitterness that's driving some of this behavior. I don't know. I'm not speculating too much, but it sounds like she might be a little bit bitter. It says Nas is back in the news following critical comments by his ex-wife, the milkshake singer Kelis. Now, if they're still referring to you, so they mentioned Nas and they're talking about what he did yesterday. They're mentioning Kelis. They're talking about what she did probably when some of y'all were little children. Like when did that song Milkshake come out? When did Kelis Milkshake come out? Anybody remember? Let me see. Milkshake came out in 2004. 2004 is 16 years ago. 2004. I don't even know if Barack Obama was a senator in 2004. I mean, 2004 was a long time ago. 2004 was 3 years after 9/11. I mean, that's a long time ago. So let me see. What were the big things that happened in 2004? Let me see the big things that happened in 2004. Let's see. I'm gonna do a search here. 2004, the Mars rover landed on Mars. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see what else. What major events happened in the U.S. in 2004? I'm trying to see what they have here. I'm gonna look it up. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But the point is, 2004 is a long time ago. It wasn't, so think about this. So your man is being mentioned in the media because of what he did last week. You're mentioned for what you did back in 2004, 2003, etc. So right there, the fact that you then used his name as an opportunity to throw shade on somebody that you've been divorced from for 11 years doesn't make you look good. You think it makes you look better, but it actually makes you look worse. It makes people wonder, why are you talking about this, right? You were in college. Jay Brown says, I was in college in 2004. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but there's a good chance. I mean, you could be almost old enough to be a grandma now, right? So I don't know. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you're old because you're black. You probably don't crack. You probably look like a 22-year-old. But seriously, I mean, back in 2004, that was a long time. The Chappelle Show was still on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. The Confessions album just came out. Thank you for telling. I don't remember everything that happened in 2004, but I know it was a long time ago, a very long time ago. And so the thing is that, you've got a person that unfortunately it gives the appearance that she hasn't moved on. It gives the appearance that she's hanging on to the past. And I can just tell you that anybody who gets upset in your relationship and decides to make it public is somebody that you want to be cautious with, because that's the kind of person you don't want to be around if you have anything that you are trying to protect. The other thing that's interesting about Kelis is that in this article, in this Yahoo article, it says, in a new interview with The Guardian, Kelis, who was recently eliminated from The Masked Singer UK after being mistaken for the late Natalie Cole, so they mistook her for a dead person. That's kind of depressing. Reflects on the tumultuous relationship, which began in 2002 and ended with her filing for divorce while 7 months pregnant with her son, Knight. The singer spoke publicly for the first time about the abuse in 2018. 2018, 9 years after the relationship's over, she speaks publicly for the first time about the abuse endured in her marriage, for which she has no proof. Remember, that's the thing. Somebody that can just go around and say, oh, I was abused, and there's no proof, no evidence. I think that's kind of a problem. I think that's an issue. I think that it's okay to say, okay, we understand if you went through this, but we'd like to know, like, where's the evidence? Did you call the police? Did you have pictures of yourself being abused? Or was it just a fight? A lot of times, a lot of relationships where, I'm not saying the majority, but I'm going to say there are a lot of relationships where somebody's walking around saying they were abused when really it was just a fight, when they was given as much as they were getting. Have you ever seen relationships like that? I mean, really. In fact, I got a call from somebody who was an insider. Let's just say that, an insider, because I had mentioned on my podcast, Ike and Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? Where the whole movie was basically, it might as well have been called Why Ike Turner is a Son of a Bitch, or Why Ike Turner Can't Be Trusted, or Why Ike Turner deserves to be in prison. Like that should have been the title of the movie, because all they did was, it was like one scene after another of Ike either beating her ass or threatening to beat her ass. It was like, scene 1, bitch, I'm gonna beat your ass. Scene 2, I told you I was gonna beat your ass. Pop, pop, pop. Then scene 3, I love you, but I'm gonna beat that ass. Right? Scene 4, I told you I was gonna beat that ass. Pop, pop, pop. Like the whole movie was more about Ike than it was about Tina. Like it was in between singing, like she sang, she give a great performance, and then Ike would want to beat her ass because she sang too good, right? So it was real interesting to watch this movie. Like it really, give me yes or no, I don't know. It really made you look at Ike Turner like, damn, like what was wrong with you, man, right? Well, here, check this out. So I mentioned that during back then. I don't know if I had this kind of podcast because social media was different, but I was talking in public and I mentioned it, and I got a call from somebody from the Jesse Jackson camp. And this person called me and they said, I was there when Ike and Tina were married. I was there. And she said, it wasn't like that, like it was portrayed in the movie. She said, it was not like that. She said, Ike and Tina used to fight and she used to slug him as quick as he slugged her. Now, mind you, I don't believe a man should ever hit a woman. That's just not my MO. I don't believe in that. Fellas, seriously. And just for your own safety, it doesn't matter if you get in a relationship with somebody. This is a little nugget I'm gonna drop on you guys, because I'm about to get married July 11th in Chicago. All of y'all are invited. Here's the deal. This is the rule Alicia and I have. Physical violence has no role in our relationship. Like there is never an excuse other than her doing the inexcusable, which is to, attack me with a weapon or a knife or a gun, which she would never do. There's never an excuse or a reason for us to ever put our hands on each other. There's no reason for that. You can talk it out. You can figure it out. You can maybe even argue. I mean, it's okay. You can argue. Sometimes we've argued. My God, we all have arguments, right? But maybe this is something you just come into. Maybe you grow into this. But there's never a reason for me to physically touch her, to hit her, or to throw something at her or whatever. You can talk it out, like even argue, but don't get to where you're putting your hands on nobody. And this goes for the ladies too. Seriously, ladies, a lot of times I'd be willing to bet you that there's a large percentage. I'm not going to put a number on it because I'm not sure of the number, but I bet you a large percentage of the time where there are domestic violence incidents, it was a matter of both parties putting their hands on each other, not just one party deciding I'm gonna beat your ass because you didn't bake the cookies right. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. We do have some crazy people out there. We got some people out there that will beat your ass because you didn't bake the cookies right, which means you might need to make a better choice in men for sure, or take your time with these guys because some of them are butt naked crazy. But at the same time, a lot of situations are she's coming in slugging the shit out of him, hitting him upside the head with pots and pans. And then he finally gets sick of it and reminds her that he's the man in the relationship and pulls that testosterone out and busts your ass all the way across the room. And then next thing you know, the aggressor has suddenly become the victim, right? And I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that it's real. I ain't here to be right. I'm here to be real. Sometimes real don't feel right. But that's what it is sometimes. I've seen it. I'm old enough to have seen these things. So with this situation, this whole I was abused, I was emotionally abused. Again, I would look for evidence. And again, this is a man that has a reputation. And I guess that's what people do when they love you. They go around and they smear your reputation or whatever. Well, I will say this. Here's what I'm going to throw out, something for intelligent people to consider. I'm not telling you to agree with me. I'm going to throw this out for your consideration, though. I'm going to throw out what I perceive to be a definition of love and a definition of loyalty. Loving you and being loyal to you, and just like I am with this woman upstairs, me loving you and being loyal to you does not willing to do shit for you. But loving you and being loyal to you, at the very least, means that even if things don't work out, I'm going to move on. I'm going to wish you the best. And I'm not going to go out and seek to defame you unless I have a good reason to do so. Unless I really feel like my life is threatened and I really need that help, right? Like I feel like if Alicia and I broke up and Alicia's trying to murder me and I get on the internet and I'm like, hey, y'all, I need y'all to send the police immediately because she's trying to kill me, y'all. She's trying to kill me, right? Like if that happened, then maybe you might see me say something in public. But other than that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I was to come home and find her in the bed with two sailors, a monkey, 4 bananas, and a piece of rope. Like, it doesn't matter. That's something y'all would hear is Dr. Boyce and Alicia did not work out. The wedding has been called off. Dr. Watkins has no further statements on the issue. He wishes her the best. He wishes her and the monkey to have a good life. Now I'm not putting no nasty stuff out there, but y'all get the point. It does not matter, right? Because what happens is sometimes people believe that a crime of the heart, that because somebody hurt your feelings, you have the right to go out and attack, defame, and destroy them. That because they made you sad or because they disappointed you or because they let you down, you have the right then to pull out all stops and go nuclear with it and try to destroy everything they've got going on, everything that might make them happy in this world. And I'm going to say that says more about you than it says about them. That says more about you than it says about them. It says that you are a person, unfortunately, you've got to ask yourself, should they have ever trusted you and loved you in the first place if you're a person who's going to go out and try to destroy them the minute you get disappointed? We all get disappointed in love. We all get disappointed. And I could be disappointed in my relationship at some point, but you're never going to see me talking about this woman like she's a dog or a piece of trash. It wouldn't matter if she chose to be with somebody else or not. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget, tonight we got Black Movie Night. We're bringing in some independent Black films. We're going to screen them for the public. We're also having the filmmakers in so that you can talk to them right after the films are screened. They're really, really good. I saw them myself. You can register at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. So let's keep going. Last point. So the thing, here's an interesting thing about Kelis too. This is something that, you know, that I read about. I was trying to sort of figure this out. Like, why is she, you know, holding on to the past? Why is she so belligerent toward this guy? You know, what's really going on? Now, part of it is just standard relationship. That's kind of what happens. That's why, you know, one of the things I figured out is that when you are choosing to enter a relationship with a person, that is a business transaction. Relationships are a legal contract. Marriages, especially marriages, are a legal contract. You're forming a business-like relationship with that person, because if the relationship doesn't go right, it's going to ruin your wealth. It's going to ruin your business opportunities. It can ruin your reputation, which could be part of your capital as well. So a guy like a Nas may be looking back and saying, damn, like, she's out here talking in public. Like, this is kind of messing up my image. Like, now there are endorsements he can't get, opportunities he won't have. There are situations he's going to run into because he's got an accusation of abuse. Black men, unfortunately, because of how you're seen in society, if people accuse you of anything, then people are going to just believe them just because somebody said it. Like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is in the fucking grave right now, and you got white women running around saying he's a rapist, and there's no evidence whatsoever anywhere on this planet or any other that he raped anybody. There's no evidence of anything. The only evidence I know about is, one, that she sought him out, that lady back in 2004 sought Kobe out, went and knocked on his door looking for the black D, looking to get a piece of an athlete. That's all I know. The other thing I know is that from what I've read, the numerous reports say that she got around, that she was handing out free samples of vagina sandwiches to anybody who wanted one that week. So that's all I know. Those are the only two things I know, is that she was looking for Kobe and she was handing out free samples. Everything that happened in that room, nobody knows. But despite that, despite the fact that there's no evidence on any level of Kobe doing anything wrong to anybody, there are still prominent people running around saying these things about Kobe that are simply not proven and not true, right? So a black man, that's why a black man has to be careful about who you engage with, especially if you got something to lose. So this is for all the brothers out here that are trying to build something. You're trying to get some money. You're trying to be successful. You're trying to get a high-ranking corporate position. You're trying to go start a business. You're trying to become a multimillionaire. You're trying to maintain a stellar reputation. You got to have a little ring around you, a ring of protection around you, because you've got people that will come into your life just so they can destroy it. You got people that will come in and try to link onto you. And when you say, get off of me, they're going to run and scream bloody murder. Well, you know, he's abusive. Well, how's he abusive? What did he do? Or he's just abusive. Stop questioning the victim. You can't question the victim because he's abusive and I said it. And because I said it, it must be true. Because I said it, it must be true. Like that's literally what it is. Like, so for black men, you got to be extra strategic, extra careful, etc. And I'm sure Nas is like losing sleep over the fact that he chose to marry this lady who 11 years later is still like literally waiting for his shining moment, right? He just performed at the Grammys. That's a big deal. And she's like, oh, okay. Oh, you got something going on? Well, let me fuck that up for you. Let me pee all over your parade, sir, because that's my job, because I was close enough to you to have a lot of stories I can tell, and people will just believe me because I'm a woman accusing a black man of something. Because here's the thing, Kelis isn't just accusing Nas. She accused Pharrell. She said she didn't accuse him of abuse, but she accused him of a type of abuse. She said he robbed me, he stole from me. Like so there's a contract. Apparently, I guess Pharrell chose to work with her. They signed a contract. She could have read it. They made an agreement. She didn't like the contract. So now she's literally rewriting the narrative to say, you tricked me and you stole from me. Well, how the fuck? I mean, I'm not saying that you can't be fooled in business. That's why I tell you guys to understand business, right? All entertainers should take classes in business. The smartest entertainers I know are the ones who are thinking about business. That's why the people I talk to a lot about entertainment stuff the most are D1 and Dame Dash. Dame Dash is a little bit of an unorthodox businessman. I'm not going to say everything Dame does works out, right? Because y'all seen Dame has an up and down career. But Dame is a businessman, and that's where we were able to actually understand each other. D1 is a businessman, and we talk about business. So entertainers, if you're going into that industry, learn business, or the business people will rob you of all the money that you have. So I'm not saying Pharrell did this, though. The thing is, so she was saying this about Pharrell. And this led her, after she comes and complains publicly about Pharrell and, oh, he robbed me. No, he didn't rob you. If he robbed you, then you should file charges. You need to call the police. The fact that you can't call the police says, no, he did not rob you. Maybe he outsmarted you. He didn't rob you. Maybe he protected his own interest and you didn't. He didn't rob you. Maybe he read the fucking contract and you didn't. But he didn't rob you. You signed a deal. You didn't like the deal. So now you're going into victim mode like you're doing with Nas. And you're saying he robbed me, he abused me, he took advantage of me, almost making him sound like a financial rapist. He didn't do anything of the sort. And that led her to make this comment, the one that got my attention, that got on my radar, where she says, I'm no longer interested in protecting the sanctity of the black man. Well, what the fuck is that? What does that mean? Like, what? I'm not interested in protecting the sanctity of the black man because I got into a fight with two black men who used to help me get money. Like, these are two black men. Think about this. You get hooked up with Nas. You had the Milkshake song, but Nas been a legend. Nas has been an icon, a legend. He's been hip hop immortality since 1995, right? Nas has been like, Nas didn't need the Milkshake singer to boost his career. Nas did not need you. You needed him. Pharrell has more hits than anybody. Whatever bullshit Hall of Fames they have out in Hollywood for people in the music industry, Pharrell's going to be in all of them. Neither one of these guys needed you. And so now, because you can't make money from them anymore, suddenly you're talking about how I'm not going to protect the sanctity of the black man. Like, what does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with black men? And why is this important? Why am I bringing this up? I'm not bringing this up because I care about Kelis's opinion. Kelis is one person. She had a hit song in 2004. She ain't been popping since Obama was a senator, right? So I'm not talking about Kelis and what Kelis thinks. Kelis clearly is a person who has issues. I read her whole bio. When I want to understand an artist and I want to understand somebody, I trust my gut. I read their whole bio. I read their Wikipedia page very carefully. Who was their mother? Who was their father? So I know her daddy was a Pentecostal preacher and a professor, and I know about her mother. Her mother was Chinese and Puerto Rican. I know she did performing arts school in New York. I know about all the things that happened all the way up until the day she finally had her big break when she met Nas and met Pharrell. Like, I know that whole timeline. And I also know that she was kicked out of the house for acting a damn fool. She was 16 years old. Her parents put her out of the house for, and I'm not saying that's a good thing, right? But it sounds like she was out of control. And I also know that she was arrested for being out of control back in 2007. So it sounds like Nas made the mistake of he possibly made the mistake of marrying, a ragamuffin. He made the mistake of marrying a woman who's out of damn control. He made the mistake of choosing somebody and again, risking his empire in the process by aligning himself with someone who might not be quite stable, who certainly has a little bit of a vindictive nature, who certainly does not know how to let go. And once again, though, I want to be cautious, though, because I'm passing a little bit too much judgment on Kelis based on the evidence and what I'm seeing and what she's saying. And I think she deserves some of that because she's the one doing all the talking. It's not Nas. If Nas was doing all the talking, then it would be a different conversation, right? But she's the one doing all the talking. But here's the point. Here's the point at the end of the day. The point at the end of the day is keep your relationship to yourself. When you're dealing with relationship, and it doesn't work out, going into social media, getting on Facebook and blasting the person that you were once screaming about how much you love them, like you were in 2018, you were talking about, I love my man, he's the greatest, or she is wonderful, she the best, this is the most wonderful woman in the world. And then in 2020, you're going to those very same people trying to convince them that person is a thief and a liar and an abuser and a terrible person. People don't want to hear that. That makes you look crazy. It makes you look schizophrenic. It makes you look inconsistent. The more mature way to handle breakups is to say, she's a wonderful lady. It just did not work out. I wish her the very best. And that's what it is. And you can be mad. You can go through life and feel like, damn, like seriously. I mean, most of us have probably been through relationships where if there was a court of love, if there was a court of love that could hand out real sentences, that motherfucker would have got life. Like, anybody ever have a relationship where you wish there was a court of love where you could press charges against that person for the fact that they told you a bunch of lies, that they misled you, that they made promises they did not keep, that they did you so dirty that they deserve three special places in hell for what they did? Like, anybody ever gone through that? Has anybody ever gone through that? We all have. I know I have. My God, I know I have. Right. And what I learned over time is, at the end of the day, that's just life, man. That's the journey of love. Like, the journey of love, just like in investing, we talk about risk and reward. The more risk you take, the more reward you get. But the more reward you want, the more you must take risk. So when you make an investment of the heart, when you make an investment of your time, your energy, your future, your life into another person, you are taking a risk. That's why, just like in investing, you want to take your time and make sure you analyze the investment before you bet it all on that particular person. Before I chose to get on my knee and pledge allegiance to Alicia, I did my research and I watched her very carefully, and I had 1,000 conversations to do all the due diligence I could to make sure that as I made the investment of the heart, I wasn't going to get burned too bad. And even then, you still don't know what's going to happen. And if I did get burned, all I can say is, well, I did my best. We tried. Apparently she liked somebody else now. I wish her the best. All I can do is move on, because there are other opportunities out there. Like, that's all you can do. You might be mad, but you can't do the whole spoiled brat thing and then go run to the internet and try to defame the person that you were once elevating in extreme admiration. Like, 1 minute it's like, I love him, I love him, I love him. Then it's like, oh no, he's abusive, girl, he's this, he's that. Yeah, that might be true, but unless he's out here trying to kill you, you ain't got no business putting your business out on the internet. And in fact, actually, it makes you look weak. Men especially, if men are out here blasting women in public and all the other stuff. Think about this. Ladies, yes or no? Ladies, yes or no? Would you be interested in sleeping with a man if there was evidence that he was a person that would kiss and tell? That if he didn't get what he wanted, he would go on the internet and tell everybody all the bad things about you and tell them what you do in the bedroom and spill all your business out there? Would you want a man like that? Yes or no? Would you even be interested in dating a man who gets mad at his exes and decides he wants to spill their business out in the street? Yes or no? From what I know, most real women would not be interested in a man like that at all. You keep that to yourself. And the same thing is true for the men. Fellas, I asked you, would you be interested in dating a woman who just got out of a relationship and went out and blasted the hell out of the man that she was just with? Literally told all his business, talked about him like a dog, ruined his reputation, called him all kinds of names, made allegations that could possibly get him investigated or indicted. Would you be stupid enough to mess with a woman like that? Yes or no? I hope the answer is no. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I honestly think women are a little bit smarter than men in some areas. I think in that area, I think women have a little bit more discipline and a little bit more discretion. I think men are the ones who get a little bit stupid. Like, we will really be thinking like, well, it's the reason she's bitter and mad is because all those boyfriends did her wrong, but I'm gonna be the one who's gonna be nice to her. I'm gonna treat her right. Like we really think that we're like the answer. Like, that's just kind of how we operate. But I'm just here to tell you, like, no, you don't do that. You watch how people treat their ex. That tells you how they're going to treat you. In fact, I will tell you this, a little bit of personal business, not too much, but the woman I'm going to marry, she's had a marriage. She had a divorce. And if she had attacked and tried to destroy her ex-husband, I never would have married her. I would never in a million years marry a woman who sought to get revenge and to be vindictive toward her ex-husband. I would never do that. So ultimately, that's what you want. You want somebody that's going to be fair. Somebody's going to treat you right. Somebody's going to not put all your business out in the street. Be smart with your investment. Your life is the greatest investment you make, not your money. It's your life that matters the most. All right. So I'm going to go, guys. Do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Also, don't forget that tonight we're celebrating Black filmmakers who build in our Black Hollywood. We're going to screen 3 short Black independent films. Everybody can come for free. There is a price, but you all can come for free. Just go to blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net, not .com. blackmovienight.net, and you can register and join us tonight. Also, don't forget, we have a social media platform. It's a little bit like Facebook, except better and blacker. It's called Black Enough. So if you're Black Enough, join us at blackenough.com. You can meet people in your own community right there. There's actually a button you can hit on to find people on Black Enough who live in the city, the same city as you. And last but not least, go check out boycewatkins.com to see some of the other events and other things that we have going on. We have books, we have activities, we have classes, we have all kinds of stuff happening. So go check out boycewatkins.com. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was real. I wish you guys the very, very best. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Peace.